barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. I have with me Sheikh Abu Usamah, and that's, I think I made it correct this time, alhamdulillah. Sheikh Abu Usamah is the first time coming to Edmonton, and also first time in M2M channel. So inshallah today we're going to ask him, especially questions about the da'wah, especially the shuyukh and the mashayikh and the da'is who come from UK. What we would like to learn from them is that how did they make their da'wah so booming in the UK, and we can see in Canada, meaning da'wah in terms of the non-Muslims. So we have a lot of people in the UK who are becoming Muslims, and we're here in Canada, in Alberta and Edmonton, and many other places in Canada is very, very weak, our da'wah. So inshallah today I would like to ask him how we can improve our da'wah, and how the da'wah goes towards the non-Muslims. تفضل inshallah.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. I think you know, Akhi, that basically if Allah Azza wa Jal gives someone tawfiq, then it is ultimately going to happen. So if we see that the da'wah is spreading in the UK or anywhere else for that matter, then first and foremost is from the tawfiq of Allah Azza wa Jal. And under the tawfiq of Allah, obviously, is people working behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. So I think there in the UK, there are a number of social dynamics that are jumping off night and day that cause the da'wah to be very progressive. For an example, in the UK, the government is extremely tolerant. So it allowed a lot of different Islamic groups, a lot of different Islamic personalities, a lot of different people started to become engaged in the da'wah. And just through osmosis and attrition, like when you throw the rock in the water, the waves come. All you have to do is throw the rock. As Allah Ta'ala told the Prophet ﷺ, it was the Nabi who threw, but Allah made the Usama. He made the sand hit the people in the eye. So our responsibility is just to get up and to do. So you have those people who are in the front, in the forefront, and you have those people in the background, like what you're doing, end to end. This is a serious, viable option and method of giving da'wah to Allah, because it's going to help to bring the message in this type of form that has a lot of benefit. So I just think that in a place like Edmonton, in Toronto, places like Calgary, these places, if everybody got in where he fit in, everybody doesn't do the same job. You're the hafiz of the Quran, I'm the one who teaches the hadith. This one over there, he's the one who's going to be doing the camera. And that one over there, he's an administrative worker. He's an idari, rajul idari. And that one over there, he's doing something else. Everybody has to bring their piece of the puzzle to the table, making Islam the goal, the objective, and then that's when Allah Azza wa Jal puts the barakah in the thing, and that's when the thing turns into a successful endeavor.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. So can you tell us, like, what drives you to da'wah, right? You can't just come one day and then expect it to be a da'i, right? What drives you in your life to become a da'i, and to, many people are business people, some people are, imams, some people are drivers, some people have different jobs in terms of, in Islam too, but what drives you to become a da'i, and in your life point, what turned you to this level?
I really don't know one single answer for that question, but when I became a Muslim, Allah Azza wa Jal blessed me to go to Al-Medina. And I think that was the greatest ni'mah that Allah bestowed upon me after the ni'mah of Islam. In fact, He took me away from the environment where I was at, and there was a lot of jahil and juhala. When a new person becomes a Muslim, he's at the rahmah of those people who are around him. If he's with people who are telling him, curse the companions, he's going to curse the companions. If he's with people who are making the dhikr of Allah in a way that's not legislated, that's what he's going to do. If he's with people who say, blow this up, blow that up, that's what he's going to do. Allah Azza wa Jal, He blessed me to go to Al-Medina. And in Medina, as you know, Akhi, are huffaz of the Quran, ulama of fiqh, ulama of al-hadith. And as a result of that, I began to become a student of knowledge. And then when I would come back to America, whenever I would travel in the summertime, vacation time to America, to the UK, because I was studying, the people expected me to start giving some nasiha and things like that. One thing led to another, and I think that's how I started to give dawah. The individual never knows really what the future holds for him. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that I would be able to read Arabic and understand it, that I would be able to stand behind a person who reads the Quran and understand it, that I would be able to speak Arabic. And that's why I want to say to my brothers and sisters, especially the youngsters out there, they asked me today to talk about knowing Allah. If a person knows Allah, then he'll know himself. He'll know what he can do and what he can't do. If he knows Allah, he knows that Allah Ta'ala is ala kulli shay'in qadir. Whatever you want to do, Allah can give you the tawfiq to do it. And if people come and tell you, you can't do that, you say, no. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah, if he wants me to do it, then I'm going to do it. And the other way works as well. If a person knows that Allah is qawi, Allah is jabbar, Allah is azim, Allah is mutakabbir, then he knows himself. He knows that he shouldn't be mutakabbir. He knows that he shouldn't be jabbar. He knows that he shouldn't be a zalim, and so forth and so on. So the point is, when I became a Muslim in 1986, if someone told me, hey, Abu, you're going to read Arabic and understand Arabic, I'd say, yo, man, you smoking crack or something like the mayor of Toronto or something like that? But Allah made it happen, and here I am today. So I want to say to the young brothers and the young sisters, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, and don't let anybody try to kill your dream. And one of the worst things that a parent can do to the child is to kill the dream of that child, provided that the dream is Islamic. If the dream is Islamic, then we should get behind them and try to make it happen, inshallah. You shoot, you shoot, you shoot for the higher goals. You go high, you high. And if you miss the high goal, you're going to get something a little bit lower. But even that still is going to be something that is worth your time and effort. May Allah make it easy for all of us.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. One another thing, inshallah, probably this might be the last question, is so how did you come to Islam? Can you explain to us, like, how, briefly, how you came into Islam, and were you Christian before?
They said I was a Christian, but you know, Christians, what is that? It's a relative concept. But I guess I was a Christian. That's what I would put on the paper if they asked me what my religion was. But my parents really are not into Christianity. They don't know what they're doing. There were different variables that caused me to come into Islam. One of them was that I came from a very racist environment. I didn't like white people. They didn't like us. We didn't get caught in their side of town, and they better not get caught in our side of town. So I thought Christianity was a religion that had institutionalized racism in it. It said that white people are better than black people, and that Jesus is white, Moses, Ibrahim, the Malaika, Jibril, Mikael, even the Malaika, they made them white people. And I wasn't feeling that racism. I thought it was a way that the white man who went and took my forefathers from West Africa, brought us over as slaves on the ship. They shoved that religion down our throats while they was whipping us, making us do free slavery, free work for them. I thought it was just a drug that they gave to our people. So you'll find in the church in the South, in America, to this very day, they still sing slavery spiritual hymns. Martin Luther King Jr. used to march, and the people were singing, "We shall overcome." And I'm like, man, you people shucking and jiving and singing and stuff like that. They tell us, we gonna get our pie in the sky. When you die, you go to Jannah, heaven. That's when you gonna get your pie in the sky. And the white man was right here enjoying his pie right now. I was saying, come on, man, I want to eat right now. You understand? So I wasn't feeling that racism. And at that time, when I was young, South Africa was a big political issue. It was a big issue. And we were really into apartheid and being against apartheid. And I remember discussing with this white guy who was from the Dutch Reformed Church of South Africa. They actually legitimized apartheid by saying it was from the Bible that black people were slaves and should be slaves. There's a story I hear in the Bible about Noah, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhi. Noah, said that he had 3 sons. Ibn Kathir mentioned this as well, the 3 sons of Noah. But it's from the Israeliyat. Allahu alam about all of that. But in the Bible, it says that he had a son who black people come from. His name is Ham. A son who white people come from. His name was Sam. Another son who all the other people come from. His name was Yahuth. Said that Noah, the Nabi of Allah, the first Rasul, salawatullah wassalamu alayhi, it said that he drank khamr and he was drunk. Hashalillah, and he was naked. He didn't have his clothes on. So his son Ham, who black people came from, walked in and saw his father naked and drunk, high. So he started laughing and making istihza about his nakedness and his state, and he left. Then the son Sam, who the white people come from, he came and he had adab, tartib. He had hayat. He covered up his father's nakedness and didn't look, and he left. The next day, the story said that Noah asked them what happened, and they said, your son Ham, who the black people come from, he was laughing at your nakedness. So Noah made dua to Allah to curse Ham and his descendants, and to make them slaves to Sam, the white son. So they were using that. And I didn't believe in that nonsense. So when I started reading about Islam, I saw that Islam addressed the issues of racism. Islam was a religion that went along with the fitrah. And at that time, the movie Malcolm X came out. And I always was a fan of Malcolm X. It was the first book that I ever read in my life. Because where I come from, it's not cool to read books. Understand? They say, if you have something expensive in the black community, and I think this is true for Somalis too, if you have a lot of money, just hide it in the book, because the burglar would never look in the book. Black people don't look in the book. So when I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, I was impressed with the Islam that was being mentioned. And I think that more than anything said to me, start looking into this religion. So I went and I met some guys from the Nation of Islam. They were kuffar. You know Nation of Islam? Louis Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, them guys like that. And I listened to them, and I wasn't feeling that. Then I met some other brothers who were Muslims, black Americans. And to their credit, they knew a little bit, but they didn't know enough. And then I had a big trauma. Something happened to me. I had a run-in with the popo. It was a big problem. And it was a changing moment in my life. That's why I lost my teeth right here. You know the Prophet ﷺ, you know, Kuffar in Ta'if, they knocked his tooth out. So this is the sunnah action. Did I knock your tooth out? So I had a run-in with the popo, and then I took a little vacation. You know, in the sun and stuff like that. And when I took that vacation, it was an opportunity for me to really reflect on what was going on. Where was I? And I looked around, man, and I said, wow, all of my friends, all of my homies, all of my relatives, those guys are either crazy, they lost their mind from crack and other stuff, or they're locked up, or they're dead. So I said, I gotta get myself together. So I was asking Allah when I was on that vacation, I had time to think and to breathe. When I was out there grinding, I was really hustling, I didn't have time to breathe, man. I couldn't breathe. I was always grinding. But I had time to think. And then I decided, I'm going to change. I'm going to try to become a Muslim. And I made that decision. Alhamdulillah, here I am today. And it's my Islam.
How did you come straight? Like, how did you come to the point of saying, all right, you know what, this religion, I know you mentioned many things, but you said that, khalas, this religion is the the right religion. You know, at the last moment of your life, Shaitan might be saying, no, this is not right, man.
It made sense to me, the whole religion. It wasn't anything in
Like
Islam.
anybody preach to you or sit down with you? Or
Nah. When I was on that vacation, one guy used to come in because I would have an opportunity to go out and see the sun for 1 hour. 1 hour during the day. And I would go and listen to this cat. And he knew what to talk about. Turned out that he was really ignorant because after I finished my vacation and I met him, he actually became kind of like an enemy to me because he didn't know what he was talking about. And when I became a Muslim, I wanted to be serious. I didn't want to be rough and tough, but I always said, Akhi, my mother, my father, they love me more than everybody. They love me, and they were guiding me astray, although they love me. So what about someone who doesn't even know me? If my mother can sing me straight, if I would have died on that, I'd have been from the Ashab al-Nar because of my mother, my father. Right? Hadith is clear. كل مولود يولد على الفطرة فأبواه يهودانه وينصرانه. Every child is born on the fitrah. My mother, my father changed that fitrah to shirk and kufr. So if they can misguide me and they love me, then anybody else can misguide me. And I used to ask that guy, where's the dalil? Where's the dalil? Where's the dalil? I don't want to get tricked again in religion. Where's the dalil? Where's the? And he got tired of that. He said I was one of those guys who wants to be an Arab. I don't want to be an Arab. I just want to be guided right. That's all. So when I saw he dealt with me like that, I looked for other people. But to his credit, when I was taking that vacation, he knew what to talk about. He was talking about things that I needed to hear at that time, like the universality of Islam, like if you know Allah in tough times, Allah will, in good times, Allah will know you in tough times. He talked about the right things, although he was ignorant. So I want to just always say, for younger people especially, anyone who is teaching you, we have to respect those people. Like in the story of Ibrahim, Ibrahim was giving dawah to his father, but he always was respectful to his father, saying, Ya abati, ya abati. We should never be disrespectful to those who teach us. We should have ihtiram, taqdeer, tartib, respect for our teachers. And even if you know that they're ignorant, don't have su'l adab with the mu'allim. Don't have su'l adab. Because that guy, he died recently, a few months ago, and I remember he brought me a Quran, and I wrote in that Quran some words, and I wrote thanks to that guy as well. So may Allah Ta'ala have rahmah on him and forgive him, inshallah, put him into Jannah, because I think he meant good. I think he was a decent guy. He just, ignorance. You know, the Arabs, they say,
الإنسان عدو لما جهل.
The person is an enemy to something he doesn't know, that he's ignorant about. So he found change quite difficult. But we wanted to bring him to the Sunnah. May Allah have rahmah.
I mean, Jazakumullah khairan. It was a pleasure to have you.
It's all my pleasure, man.
M to M.
It's all my pleasure.
Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for your da'wah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the da'wah that you're doing in your scale on the day of judgment. And be a hujjah for you, not alayk, inshallah.
Jazakallah
We
khairan.
ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you all the things that you wish. And it's a pleasure to have you also in this city. It's called Edmonton, and usually we say to the youth who are coming here with not the intention of changing their life, we call it Edmonton. So so they come here from Ottawa or Toronto, and they don't come here to do good. Then what happens is that this is where they end.
Well, I don't know much about M to M.
You will learn, inshallah.
This is my very first time being exposed to M, but I have husn al-dhan about your brothers, and therefore my encouragement to the community is to get behind every single individual, every single organization that's trying to push for the betterment and the further development of the Muslim community with understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah, the way the companions were upon it, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in wa ardahum. And from those institutions, inshallah, is MTM. So we need manpower, but more importantly, we need resources. So issues like this, I know because we have similar projects and programs we come from, they're in dire need of the financial backing of the community. So as I said, get in where you fit in and try to help to the best of your ability. Your lives will generally give everybody ease and tawfiq, inshallah, in the dunya and the akhirah. And don't forget to subscribe to MTM, baby.
Okay,